Step on up, sit down, twist off that bottle top or crack open that can, and welcome to Porch Matters. This is Terry Cagle coming to you from my back porch. Yes sir, yes ma'am, the name of this show is authentic. On Porch Matters, our saying is this: big issues or just a friendly conversation. No topic is off limits. We take pride in being able to talk about anything with each other in an open discussion. Open discussion is one of the only ways to learn. Your perspective could be changed. You could change the perspective of others. Friends and family, welcome to another episode of Porch Matters. I'm glad you're here. I hope every single one of you that cried, whined, and complained about how bad our winter was are loving this heat wave we're in. I'll be completely honest and transparent. I am a fat boy. No, I'm not body shaming. I'm being honest and calling it like it is. This fat boy has been melting in this heat. Work has been stressful this past week and not looking to change much the next week. But this too shall pass. Either it will pass or I will pass, as Mark Lowry said one time. Can't remember if I told y'all this. If I did, I'm telling it again or giving an update to the story. Memorial Day weekend, I went and bought a Traeger 34 Pro from Home Depot. It finally got delivered last week, and I got it put together around Tuesday. I was sweating so bad I was worried I would short out the electrical components putting it together. Went to the store and got some hamburger meat, some ground pork, some hot dogs, and some sausage. Nothing fancy. I love to grill, but I've never cooked on a pellet grill before. You got to learn your grill before you waste money burning meat. Some people love burnt meat. If you are one of those people, I love you, but I don't understand you. Anyways, went through the almost 2-hour process of getting this grill ready to cook. If you don't own a pellet grill, you have to go through the process of letting the pellets get fed into what they call the burn pot. Then you are supposed to turn it to the shutdown cycle to let everything reset. You turn it back on until the pellets catch on fire. Then you turn it back off to reset everything and let it cool off. Turn it back on, but this time turn it back up to on high for like 45 minutes to let it preheat. After 45 minutes, then go and put it back on the shutdown setting so it'll shut itself off. And after that, cut it back up on whatever temperature you want it, then you're ready to cook. Well, during that 45-minute preheat, I got my meat ready to cook. I took the hamburger meat and ground pork and mixed them all together with some salt, garlic salt, pepper, and dill sauce. I mixed it all up with my hands in a bowl and made some hamburger patties. Put them in the refrigerator and let them firm up some. When the preheat stage was over, I turned the grill up to about 300 and put everything in there. Before it was all over with, I'd done had the grill turned up to about 400. Again, first time cooking on it, but what I was going for was a low and slow cook. To me, the sausage turned out the best. Hot dogs are hot dogs. It's very difficult to mess up a hot dog unless you just absolutely scorch it. My personal opinion on the burgers, I think I used too much pork, and I really didn't get a good consistency throughout each patty. Others that ate them said they was great, but if I do that next time, I either won't use a whole pack of ground pork or I'm going to mix it up a whole lot better. My goal is to cook a brisket for the 4th of July. I'll let you know how that goes. For the food review this week, me, Stacy, and Xander went to the Pie Factory in Jasper, Alabama. It's downtown, down there where all that progress is being made. I ordered a 16-inch pepperoni classico. Xander actually got a 10-inch cheese pizza off the kids' menu, which was surprising to me. I was shocked to see they had a pizza that big on the kids' menu. Stacy ordered the El Guapo, the handsome devil. I told her she already had a handsome devil. She didn't find it funny, and I'm sure you don't either. Someone needs to be convinced I'm a handsome devil. It might as well be me, right? The El Guapo was a ranch-based pizza with ranch, obviously, hot sauce, mozzarella cheese, chorizo, bacon, red onion, and jalapenos topped with Cajun. Just looking at it almost gave me indigestion, but apparently Stacy loved it. I also ordered as an appetizer the Sweet Heat style wings. The sauce was made of Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce with Texas Pete hot sauce. It starts out sweet, but had a little bit of an afterkick right there at the end. I thought it was a real good sauce. I was honestly expecting small wings and was pleasantly surprised whenever I saw they were jumbo-sized wings. I even convinced Stacy to try one, and she don't eat chicken off a bone. When she eats chicken, it's either chicken strips or chicken nuggets or boneless wings, which is just chicken nuggets with sauce on it. Made sure to get photographic proof of it too. I would and will go back at some point just for the wings. But the pizza was great, the wings was great, and the atmosphere of the place is real fun. Service was also great. The Pie Factory in Jasper, Alabama, is #FatBoy approved. Speaking of something else #FatBoy approved, Friday I took a road trip with my mother down to Gulf Shores to be with my cousins. They had went down earlier than the week. Me and Mom left the house and drove down. I had to work all day, so I had to ride shotgun with a laptop in my lap and a phone to my ear almost all the way down. Again, last week was stressful at work. Mom had heard the review on Champy's famous fried chicken in Muscle Shoals and said she wanted to try it. I looked on Champy's website and found a location down in Daphne which wasn't too far out of the way from where we were going. Shout out to all 4 Madisons from Champy's famous fried chicken in Daphne, Alabama. Those ladies, especially Madison Haas, couldn't have been more fantastic. Thanks, Madison. Mom loved the chicken as well. We went on over and found a decent place close by to sleep Friday and Saturday, and just drove down about 10 minutes to meet up with my cousins. Met up with them Friday night after I got done working at the room, and we went to Wolf Bay Restaurant. I tried their grilled snapper and really enjoyed it. Mom also had the grilled snapper. Saturday was a beach day. That water felt so good. I'm really happy I didn't get cooked. I'm stubborn and ignorant, and I don't use sunscreen, and sooner or later that's going to bite me in the rear end, but that's just who I am. Thought I was going to have to carry Mama out of the water. If you were listening to this and don't know my mother, she has inner ear issues and gets vertigo really easy. She also gets the giggles very easy, too. If you know her, you know what I'm talking about. I had to tell her to quit giggling so I could get her out of the water, too. We all hung out by the pool for a little while, and then we ended up going over to the Floribama Yacht Club, which is a place that I had never experienced. We had some good acoustic music going and a bar operating out of a trailer. Played some cornhole with Alex and Eli while we waited for a table. I had a really good Cuban sandwich there. And woke up and came home today. I've been here maybe about 4 hours. As soon as we got here, I started working on this show. That's basically been my week. There again, like I said off the top of the show, I hope you've had an outstanding week. I really want to take this time to wish a happy Father's Day today to every one of you that are listening to this. I saw this on Instagram, and it was posted by Path to Manliness. It's a very good account to follow on Instagram, and I'm going to read it to you now. Here's to all the dads who paid for a dinner that no one was grateful for, who didn't know if they'd make it to payday, who are trying their best to be a good man in a society that devalues men, who lost their patience multiple times a day because they see their life passing with their dreams still in their chest, who never hear, I'm proud of you, because those are the most important words to a man, who work long hours and leave all the day's frustrations at the door to be there for his kids, because that's what dads do, who love so much even when they feel they're failing, who shoulder the weight of the world for their family. You are doing a great job, and I'm proud of you. Even though I'm not a father yet, I felt that post. A lot of men are out there doing the absolute best they can to be the best man and best father they can be. Some of you are out there and just heard that and said, wow, that's me. If you remember Jarrett Samuels and the Pursuit of Manliness podcast, Jarrett was a guest on the porch about a year ago. If you haven't listened to that episode, I highly recommend it. I recently joined his discipleship group called Tribe, and we are reading a book called The Men We Need by Brant Hansen. Brant makes a very good point pretty much right out of the chute in this book. But before I get to that, I have to tell you this story, and I know I've told it here a couple of times, but I'm going to tell you again. Me, Mom, Stacy, and Xander had taken a trip over to Scottsboro to the lost luggage store. Then we drove up to the cast iron store up in South Pittsburgh, Tennessee. We left there and went toward Chattanooga. Since I had been around Xander, he wasn't used to being around a guy like me. I'm tougher on him, and I like to pick at him and horseplay, but I also make him mind. And when he does something good, I tell him he does something good, and I make sure he knows that I'm proud of him. I had to stop and get gas, and he got out with me, and he asked me a question. He said, "Why are you so tough on me?" Well, my answer was this. Xander, if I'm going to be in your life, it is my responsibility to teach you how to be a man. I have to help get you prepared to face this world. And this world is rough and mean and don't care about you. He seemed to understand. But then I started to question, what is a man? Well, I learned how to be a man from a lot of different influences in my life. Mainly 3. My dad, my grandpa, and my Uncle Eddie. I'm a lot like all 3 of them. I believe a man should work hard to provide for his family. I believe a man ought to be a man of integrity. If you say you're going to do something, you do it. You do your best to be a good example for others. Never stop learning anything new, because the day you stop learning is the day you die. Even then, you're learning something new. But going back to the book, Brant talks early in the book about man's first purpose. He goes all the way back to Adam in the Garden of Eden. Genesis 2, verse 15 out of the Amplified Version says, "So the Lord God took the man he had made and settled him in the Garden of Eden to cultivate and keep it." I have used the term my circle a lot. My circle is the people in my life, or what some would call my sphere of influence. These are my words, not the author of the book. It is my job as a man to protect, to provide for, to teach, to be a good influence on, to be a man of integrity for, to help my circle. I look at my circle like Adam's garden. And I believe we as men on Father's Day need to look at ourselves and see what we can do differently so our circle prospers. If you've never worked a garden, or if you have ever worked a garden, you know you have to break the ground and then plant the seeds. Then you have to get rid of all the grass and the weeds. You've got to water and use fertilizer if you have it. Maybe stick the beans or put some racks around the tomatoes to help protect and prop them up. Then after a little bit, those plants produce, and then you got to take bags, baskets, or buckets, in some people's instances, big machines, to go out and pick the vegetables those plants produce. We won't see the fruits of our labor unless we put in the work. Ladies, you are fantastic. Women are great, but they can't be a man. Only a man can teach a boy how to be a man. Only a man can teach that daughter how she is supposed to be loved and treated by a man. We have to do what we are supposed to do, guys. And I'm speaking to myself as much as I am speaking to you. Consider this a Father's Day challenge. Are we doing what we're supposed to be doing? If not, what do we got to do to fix it? The would you rather question for last episode was, would you rather have unlimited sushi for life or unlimited tacos for life? On Instagram, W.5062 says, duh, the answer is always tacos. Hiller_custom_woodline says, tacos. On the Facebook page, Robert Jesse Dominguez says, this one is easy, tacos for life. In the Facebook group, Stacy D4 Fusion says, tacos. Terry Woodall Cisco says tacos. Didn't have the first sushi comment. So I'm glad to see everybody that did leave a comment is in agreement on tacos. I appreciate all of you that commented. This week's Would You Rather question. Would you rather be a content failure or be an unhappy success? Personally, I would rather be an unhappy success. I would like to never be satisfied because that leads to new challenges and new goals and new aspirations. What say you? Leave your comment on the Facebook page, Facebook group, Instagram, or Twitter, and I will be happy to read your answers on the next episode. That's all I've got for this episode. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. I appreciate everybody that has shared the show with at least one friend. If you are new to the show and you like what you hear, please hit that like, subscribe, or follow button and download the episodes in our archives. If this show has made a positive impression in your life, please rate the show and leave a review. Won't take you but a minute, and it really would help the show. If you would, download the episodes in our archives and pick your favorite episode and share it with at least one friend this week. There are a lot of people out there that have never heard of a podcast before. It sure would help spread the word on the show, and I sure would appreciate it. And I look forward to seeing every single one of you right here on Porch Matters.